Friday. This is the apartments at Nat's place. And if we go over here, we see out her windows, it comes into focus. And there's the gardens where they plant. Nat has a garden down there. This is the bedrooms. Nice enough place with all that stuff there. And she looks out there, and that's the church over there. That's the bathroom area. See, Grandma worries that it might be difficult to get around in here. The dining room.
Where'd you put it?
On the floor there.
Oh,
They
yeah?
already picked it up.
Oh.
I want to get before the barber comes in so you can...
Then I'll put it, take it. That woman that's in charge here, she's got the key.
And then it's something...
He wants to photograph everything. So he
peek
could-
in the window with that.
I did.
He
I
can
did.
show Delia.
Yeah.
There's only...
I don't know if it's too blurry or not.
There's only
I already
two
did.
of a kind, but anyway, it's hard to... You got to spend a lot of time to try to remember the same one.
They're so detailed, they're beautiful.
It's hard to.
Time, and they can come down and have a sandwich.
10:30.
I wanted you to do that too, but we're not gonna be here.
Well, you can do anything. See, I have my own lunch. usually.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. I can come get
It's a
lunch.
little extra here.
Yeah, my
Did
sister
you
doesn't
need
come here
something
this
from
weekend.
the store? Or from here?
Well, no, you want to see the bank?
Yeah.
The chapel, they want to see.
Yeah, I want to see the chapel.
At 12 o'clock, the nun comes and sets up the altar for us for 4 o'clock tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are you doing here, Nat?
I start the rosary, and then I give each one a decade to say a decade of the rosary. There's 5 decades. So I find 5 people, they each will say one each.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And then we have a prayer to the Blessed Mother, and then the Mass starts. The
Oh.
priest comes in the sacristy, and he says Mass. It's a craft room.
You got the light in it?
Here they play cards. We paint. They do different things in here. They use it. Oh, and bingo. They do bingo here. Hey, you. The fancy. My painting. I'll show them. This afternoon, Joy is going to be here. They're coming after we come from the cemetery. So you'll see them. And here's my paintings. This one and this one. See my name?
Yeah. Yeah, see this? I saw this.
Oh. Oh, I see.
That's
You
how I
want
knew
more
that you
there?
did the gardening.
Yeah, this is all for the outside.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta show your mom.
That's real nice. How did you learn how to do that, Nat?
I was doing it when I was younger too, and but I never colored it. You know, I just used to sketch. And now we have a teacher here, so I can learn a little bit more. Here, where are you? He said, down here. Not too good. But in this pot, see, everyone's got a pot. And her husband does the whole section in the corner there.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, and I want you to see down there. There's
So every spring you have to replant everything, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. I was talking.
They buy the flowers.
Gary went to go see Bob's Garden last night,
Yes.
and so he was telling me about it, and I said, "Well, what do they do during the winter? Because see, we have no winter, so
That's right.
I mean,
Over there, just recently, they have a lot of movies there. And they play ball. Really? I don't think so. No, I haven't seen anyone do it. They turn that off in the winter.
oh yeah, I bet." So we're gonna come and ice skate on this pond in the winter.
See, you're going bye-bye. You go bye-bye. These are all flowers. In the spring, they were blue. See, now we have to wait till next year.
It's the hard part about flowers. You just gotta wait.
It's hot, huh? They got some fruit trees around the corner. Looks like I get we like those because they're always in the they scare me. Cold stuff.
Oh, is it beautiful?
Yeah. He loves his garden, but then in the winter, he doesn't get much to do. Isn't it? And there's a patio there. We can go out there, sit there. There are all my flowers on this side. And here, from here to here. Then I have these few flowers here.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their name on the pots, and they each water their own. Most of them are brought outside by this time. Then we bring them in the winter.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Once a week or so. And we have other games sometimes in here. They make popcorn for the movie over there. So they always serve popcorn. And they will serve a few drinks where I don't come down for the cocktail hour. On Sunday, each one on Sunday, and then we get one in our apartment too. They announce it, and we see it on Channel 6.
Oh, that's nice.
That's the one that sets up the altar in here. See, she brings the flowers to the altar. She picks those flowers.
I'm gonna go in, Gary. The plane.
Oh, because of the plane.
Okay.
From the other side. Peppers.
They're looking nice.
Well, we try
Who comes out and waters them?
We do.
You do?
Yeah. We do. We have to take care of our own. Whatever has to be done, we weed it.
It's a healthy looking garden.
She's taking flowers for the church. I have greens, and we put flowers all around.
This is Nat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is very much like the model.
I have to go hold the door. It's shut.
There you go.
Sure. You can sit here. The banana. Let's see.
These sure are cozy little places.
Do you drink a little juice? I got cranberry juice.
I'm fine, Nat. Thank you, though.
I wanted to give you some cookies to take back home.
You have those pictures.
Oh,
don't you?
Yeah.
that's a house in Italy where we were born. And that's the whole, my mother's family. Let's see.
You don't need to take a picture, Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it better than the camera. I'll get it.
I won second prize. This one. No, it isn't that one. Oh, this one. This one. Second prize.
Wow.
It's got the ribbon. The Golden Arts Fair.
Mmm.
There's a few more that are not in the frames. Oh, I made a snow scene.
Look at that.
And this one is a windmill.
Yeah, Nat, he liked your kitties.
Oh, that's nice. This, he can play with those. I did a windmill. Yeah.
You are busy.
Just once a week we do this.
Is it a group of you?
There's two other women, and they're older. They have trouble with their eyesight, so they trace their work. See, our teacher enlarges the picture that they have, and then they trace it and they color it. But I do mine like this, you know. You see, I got I went to buy these cookies so that you would have something, and I wanted you to bring them in your room. And there's a pound cake here. Julie, come.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble. It's trouble spelled D-A-L-T-O-N.
You're trouble.
More children, but they're going to be a little bigger tonight.
Ada's children's children? Her grandchildren?
Paul has a boy and a girl, and Charlie's stepdaughter has two girls. One is from, she adopted them. One is from Russia, and one is from Yugoslavia. Now she's thinking of getting another one from Hungary.
How old are they?
One is 10 and one is 7.
Oh,
The
wow.
one from Russia is 7 against it.
Well, I got a real close-up of the face and all the way down.
Mm,
What kind of metal is it?
I don't know. It's pretty. It looks like lacy work.
Mm.
He had somebody do it for him, but he had the idea. And they take it all over. They have a special bus or that has a thing in the back, and they lay it down. And they go through all different parishes. They stay a certain time. They're not related.
Were they from Italy?
I believe so.
Hmm.
Now our grave is further off.
Well, let's go to that grave. This is lot 13. It says 39
I remember
and 40 over there. There's the expressway, Mount Carmel Cemetery. Chicago, North Lake. How come it says Pia Botondo?
because she remarried. She remarried again.
Where? Here in America?
Yes.
Oh, how old was she when?
And he passed away, and then she came back with us.
Oh. How old was she when she remarried?
Well, I'm not sure.
But she had no more children, huh?
No, we were all grown.
Yeah.
We were all grown. And he had a place of his own on the south side. I'll show you Uncle George, too.
Okay.
He's down here.
Okay.
They don't want any flowers here.
You might get too much light. If you open more of that one and kind of shade this one. It's,
I want you to be able to see what you're doing there, see?
oh, no, that's okay. I can see.
Okay.
But
Okay.
see, too much light is kind of.
It makes the background light.
I
You
know,
can't see the person.
I know that much. See, we had a little, when I went in service, I showed you some pictures.
Mhm.
At first, we're training to invade Japan.
Okay. Yeah.
See, that's why I got the picture in my pocket here.
Mhm. From you dressed
what-
up in your service outfit with my mom.
Yeah, we're training to invade Japan
Mhm.
because we had bayonet training, and I was the one. I said I don't want to do it. I said you better learn how to do it because the Japanese are going to stab you first.
Yeah.
Then I started thinking, well, I learned, but I don't like it.
Uh-huh.
Well, see, here I was in Camp Roberts.
Uh-huh.
You must have heard about Camp
Yeah.
Roberts. It's halfway from Los Angeles, San Francisco. And I don't know who you, well, you know,
I don't know him.
no, he was the one that had the ice cream parlor in Washington. Then from Washington, Iowa, he moved to Carroll, Iowa.
He was a friend.
Yeah, a friend, no relation. We're old friends. The only two Italian family in.
And who's this? Your wife?
No, that's his wife.
Oh, his wife.
Yeah.
You weren't married yet, probably.
No, I was 39 years. I married late. I was 50 when I got married.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I'll tell you more about the what do you call it? The light is flashing. Is that on?
Yeah. That just means it's on. Yeah.
You mean it's taking a picture?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It'll do it the whole time. You'll forget about it.
No, okay. You want to get that? You're gonna keep it on all the time.
Is that okay?
That's okay
It's
with
just
me.
like if I have a tape recorder, that way
But
Yeah, you tell me the
can you
names
get
and I'll
can you
forget.
get the sound too?
Oh yeah. See, that way when you say the name, and I'll be writing down later and
Yeah,
I'll
but
say,
you're wasting a lot of film.
oh, it's I got about 40 hours worth of cassettes. It can,
Wow.
2 hours just on that one.
Okay, we're trying.
We can. It's not. It doesn't. It's not like a film camera. You can film forever on these. It's no expense. No.
I'm not familiar with
It's about $2 for 2 hours worth.
Oh, about that.
So.
That's really something. Well, you have a point on me. You're not in then.
Well, I want to see. I see me all the time.
So where we left off, I was talking, saying something.
Well, and I'm glad we got this because you were saying about. We were talking about the boys. Your father and his brother being
I never
so far
realized.
apart.
I know there was we call him Checo. Francesco was older.
Uh-huh.
That's why I say he came to America with his father.
Uh-huh.
Now I think that was no Salvatore.
Right.
See, now when he must have came over to pick up my father. 18 years difference. So you know.
So maybe because he was in the States, that they didn't have children. If he was back and forth in the States.
Maybe that could be too. I don't know. I have no history. Nobody can tell me how long he's. I know it's been in America. That much I know.
And when he was here in America, he was in Washington.
No,
Iowa,
he was
or-
in Chicago.
Oh, in
As
Chicago.
far as I know, they were only in Chicago.
Except.
In Chicago, they had a food store across the railroad station, Grand Central Station in Chicago.
Uh huh.
See, and that much I know.
It was across from Grand Central Station.
Yeah, in Chicago, those days there were Chicago had about half a dozen railroad stations.
Uh-huh.
Chicago came to Chicago full of smoke. Everything was black. When I arrived in Chicago, when I came back, I was 17, 18 years old. I told my uncle, boy, is that dirty? Is that ugly? No, I said, it's dirty. Look out, everything black. You know, the railroad, no, the black smoke.
Uh-huh.
Later on, that was eliminated. Now they
cleaned it up.
started changing diesel locomotive. By the way, I for a while I worked for General Motor, the diesel division, making railroad diesel locomotive. I had quite a little experience on doing different things. To make it short, born in Iowa, I went back to it. They took me to Italy. I was 6 years old. I went to school there until I was in junior college, and then somehow they were talking about the war in Ethiopia.
Mhm.
Then I told my dad, no, you start to reason when you're 17 years old, you know what you're talking about. So you know that next year I had to go in the army, and they were drafting people to go to Ethiopia to fight. Then I told my dad, let's go to the American consulate, get the passport. He didn't want to do it because he figured I was too young. You know, my mother would say, oh, you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, every year you're 1 year older.
Yeah.
So they decided we got the passport. I ran away from Italy. Didn't run away, but I ran away before I was drafted. When I arrived in America in May, in July, my mother sent me and said, you got the notice to go in the army. So I made it just about 2 months before.
So you didn't have to go. Let me just make sure this is going. Yeah. So
How about that? Well, when do
let me show Julie these pictures
Yeah.
of that's my mom when she was little. When I asked you first about you started to talk about Joe because I said, do you know anybody who went farther west?
Yeah, he somehow, this guy in the picture with his wife,
Mm-hmm.
from Washington, I don't know why, it was too small of a town, 2,000 population. There wasn't that much business, see.
Mhm.
And somehow the ice cream business wasn't like it used to be before. So he moved to Carroll, which is near Omaha, and from one board of Iowa,
To the other.
from the east part, they moved to the west part of Iowa. And in Carroll, I've been there. I spent 2 or 3 weeks there.
Mm-hmm.
And from Carroll, then Joe,
Mm-hmm.
this Joe Giuseppe, he bought a place. Oh, I got the name. There are 2 towns, Webster City, and they were Italian people. So almost every little town there was an Italian family. We used to know one another. At least the old timers used to know one.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've been there because Joe was in one, and the man who saw in the picture was in Carroll, and this Joe here, I think it was Webster City,
All in Iowa, though.
all in Iowa.
Did you ever hear of any Quilichis in going to Nevada?
Well, one thing I know, I don't know if Delia knows about it. Delia, by the way, is your grandmother.
Right.
Now, this Domenico here
Uh-huh.
has been in America, and I know him in Italy.
Uh-huh.
He was in America, then he went back to Italy. He had a farm there with the rest of us,
Uh-huh.
my relatives.
Uh-huh.
And he only had one eye. And everybody, nobody knew how he lost his eye, what happened to him. Until a cousin of my mother from Minnesota, I guess. No, Minnesota. Montana.
Uh-huh.
Where they had the copper mines. I know the town, but right offhand I can't think of it. He says, did you know so and so? They were talking with my mother. He said, Domenico, yeah, Domenico. We used to call him nickname, Billy. In Italy, somehow everybody's got a nickname. So he said, yeah, and, he only had one eye. And she asked, you know why he lost one eye? He said, no, the firecrackers. Nobody knew. He never told. Well, maybe he told somebody, but I didn't know. The rest of us, nobody knew about it. It was a big surprise when we heard it, because she says he used to stay in my house. He was born into my house, and that's how he lost his eye. In firecrackers, 4th of July, they were throwing firecrackers.
Huh.
See,
In
Fourth of July.
Montana, huh?
in Montana, Bussy, Montana.
Huh.
I think it's the name of the town.
Well, I wonder what he was doing all the way out there.
Well, they used to work in either
In mines
in
or-
mines or on the tracks.
Uh-huh.
People then somehow didn't have friends and put them in ice cream parlor.
That was
of this
before
was
then.
mostly Italian. Like I say, all the little town there was an Italian with ice cream parlor.
Right. But maybe he was here before that had
Well,
started.
look at the age he was born. I don't have.
I have another
Well,
spot. I have.
anyway, he was older than my dad.
Yeah.
Or just about the same age. I think he was more like the same age as Francesco.
Mm-hmm.
They were probably about the same age, maybe a couple years more or less. But he was in America. And the one thing, you could tell if you went to Italy, in a little town where Lamari,
Mm-hmm.
the people that were in America, they used to wear a vest with a watch, gold watch, and the chain. And the chain. That you say, oh, it's been in America. It's America. No matter, you probably were here 10, 20 years, you never learned the language, but you go to Italy, you was Americano.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's how they were rated. Oh, he's Americano.
Was that a good thing or
Well,
a bad thing?
he was American, see, well, he's been around, see, he made money. They had some gold, a gold chain.
Oh, right.
Whatever it was, as soon as they had enough money, they would go back to Italy, see.
Did you know any of these others? Angelina or Bettina or Menina?
Yeah, this is Delia's grandmother,
Do you remember her?
yes, and I don't know him.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute, maybe I do. No, I know another one with the same name, but not this one here. It would have been your great grandmother, because she was married, see, to Pia Quilich, which is
Francesca.
Francesco's wife.
Mm-hmm. Now, this, you remember, how many children did she have?
I'm not sure. I put down 3. These are only 3
No,
I know.
15.
There could have been more, but I don't know. That's why I'm going to write in Italy.
Do you know Elisabetta? Her
Yeah.
children was Pia.
Yeah,
Who else did she have?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
That's why I'm going to try to find out the name of these people here.
My grandmother remembers her,
Yeah.
and him a little bit. And she remembers her because this woman gave her a doll.
Yeah.
her family.
I don't know her, but I know the children.
Uh-huh.
They live another part of town. There was a low creek or something.
Yeah.
And the sons, maybe the husband she married must have been a big guy,
Uh-huh.
because they were all tall. They were all 6, 7 foot tall.
Oh.
Big guys, see?
Uh-huh.
Even the woman, even the daughter. When I went in service, I recognized her because she was tall. And I called her, hey, well, the only thing I didn't know her name, but I call her this word here, Minarila. It's the little spot where they live, a little housing. There were maybe half a dozen houses. Every spot had a different name, see? So we met downtown Lucca, right in front of the big provincial palace.
Uh-huh.
And of course she knew me because she heard me. I was American. I had, I don't know if I was in uniform or that was the second time when I went. And just for a trip with Natalina and Natalie. We took a trip in 1968 from Italy. We went to Austria, Germany, Switzerland, back to Italy.
Mm.
It was the best money spent. It only cost me not even $2,000.
Mm.
I enjoyed that more than anything. That was before I was married.
Mm.
See, I didn't want to marry my wife because my wife was a widow already and a little girl.
Mm.
That's someplace I got the picture of her, maybe over there. And well, when you're married, I wanted to have family of my own. See.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went back to Italy. When I went to Italy in '68, that was after I served there. That was the third time I was in Italy. And I go over there looking for a wife.
Mhm.
We look. And the wives, the girls there were just as spoiled as here, maybe worse.
Uh-huh.
When you see them smoking and drinking, I said, who wants a wife like that?
Yeah.
At least that was my opinion.
Uh-huh.
So I came back. And I knew this widow that I had finally married. I was 50 years old when I got married.
Yeah.
She had a little girl, someplace that you see when we get up, I got pictured by the wall.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, when I got to know my wife, she was about 6. By the time I married, I knew my wife for 4 or 5 years.
Uh-huh.
Finally, I decided, what the heck am I looking? I got a good woman. I was up in age. I said, well, I know she couldn't have children. I said, well, then she already had this girl, which I never adopted. I call her my stepdaughter, but she's not adopted. So I treat her as a daughter now.
Mm-hmm.
And you might as well look at, she gained weight, by the way. Oh yeah, here, she's here.
Yeah, or you know what? Maybe what about if you guys went over there? They really just want to see the baby.
Oh,
Yeah. You want to do that? You know, would you mind running an errand for me if you do that?
what's that?
There's a thing for that to plug in.
Oh, what did
It's
you
just
do
at
with
the
it?
house, the charger.
Mhm.
I need that charger
Okay.
for that to work.
Okay.
And if you bring the groceries back. So she's gonna go ahead and do that 3:30 thing, so I don't have to leave right
Later
now.
on, you can
Yeah,
look at
but
these.
this is his daughter.
No, that's,
Stepdaughter.
yeah, that's right.
Stepdaughter, yeah.
Now, that's my wife here. No, the second page.
Uh-huh.
See, my wife and her daughter.
Yeah.
See, that's when she got married.
Oh, how nice.
Then from there on, I started to treat her like my daughter. See,
Uh-huh.
doesn't matter.
She's looking for the money.
Yeah, got her hand out in your empty pockets.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. Yeah.
Definitely acting like your daughter. Oh, that's. She looks like her mom.
Yeah. But you should see it now. She put on so much weight. I don't like to talk about it because I used to tell one thing my wife used to tell me. She said, if you have anything to say to her, tell me about it. Don't tell her anything. No, like your daddy, you tell her off. So I used to tell my wife, I said, tell Patty to lose weight. Oh, I can't tell her. She gets mad at me. She wouldn't even talk to me after that.
So now is she gonna be here tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be great.
She come here with her husband. It's one thing. When I called her, she couldn't give me a definite answer. But I say, you come by yourself. And Steve, her husband, say he works until 5, and whenever he gets here, at least we get to see him. Well, anyway, she talked him into taking a couple hours off in order to be here at 5 o'clock.
And now she's the one that's adopted the other children.
Yeah, and she's thinking of adopting another one.
I'm gonna take a picture of. With this, if I take this, I'll be able to make it into a picture when I get home.
On the Joseph, somehow I have a bigger picture.
Well, Charlie, I will see you later this evening.
Oh yeah, but I'll be done. We get together.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna we're gonna go over. And here are their sandwiches for you in the
Well,
fridge when you get home.
Excuse me. I'm gonna show you some fast pictures.
Or Gary, do you want it now?
Just
Later.
as you go by. Right there, turn to the right. See, this is when, yeah, this is the first one.
So that's you.
Yeah, and my
And-
sister
Mary.
Mary. See,
That's
look how
Mary.
big she's there. You see her now, she's shrunk.
And that happens. And this is you.
Yeah.
And which brother is this?
The only one, John.
John.
He's somewhere here. Oh.
Who are the people in the picture?
Well, it's all family. Oh, these here are some friend of ours, or my brother's nieces.
Who are the other people here?
This is my father, my mother, my sister. There's my daughter.
Which is? Can you point to the father, the mother?
That's the father
Uh huh.
and the mother and the sister. That's Mary, right?
Yeah. See how tall she's there?
Yeah.
Now you see her now and say, what happened? She's about this tall.
And who are these? That's
These,
you.
when I was in service, this is, believe it or not, this is on top. The roof of St. Peter in Rome, on top.
Wow. And who is the man with you?
He was a professor at Notre Dame University. This they call it La Torre dell'Ore, and this La Torre Guinigi with a tree on top.
Oh.
This church here is where my father saw my mother.
Oh.
And this church here was built by my grandfather,
Which one?
Giannini. I show you this one.
Oh.
Really free.
And one side is the Mugnaini, and one is the Gianni.
Giannini.
Yeah,
that was my mother's side, the two family.
So what is the Mugnaini? What is that above the Mugnaini? The sheep
That's the what do you call it? The
coat of arms.
coat of arms of Magnani and this of the Giannini family.
And then what does it say below in Italian?
Oh, that's a long story where they come from, who were they famous and mostly the people.
In English, yeah.
Well, questo stemma, this family, what would you, word do you use again?
Yeah, this family.
What do you call this?
Coat of arms.
Coat of arms. This coat of arms of the ancient house Mugnani was extracted from the collection, a rare collection of coat of arms of
Italian citizens,
Italians, let's say citizen.
men.
Opera, boy, some of the words I have to think about to translate.
Handwritten. Opera, mono is hand, right?
handwritten,
Scritta, handed. Compiled at the.
Cura del, see, from the Count Edgar Mattei in the ancient, the past century. The fonte, the beginning, let's say. This takes a little thinking. I can't translate that fast. And John would say, I'm not trying to skip a lot of talking. Let's see. This house was divided in more branches in comparison to Florence, Siena, and Lucca, ancient families. They were famous for their family, the ancient noble family of Siena, and in Florence, they had the privilege of being buried in church. You know, when you were buried in church, that was you were an important family. And in Lucca, the members were they were in the most important, let's say, jobs, you know, civil jobs, employment, civil and public. The house, I can never think of that word. The stemma is the Italian word. What's the word you would say? The house.
The steeple?
No, what do you call this again?
Coat of arms?
A coat of arms. See, in Italian they just have one word, la stemma della casata. Qui riproduce in color, così legge, d'azzurro alla pecora d'argento, golden sheep, passata sulla campagna on the green grass, you know, col capo d'oro alla croce di San. Oh, this golden with a cross, the Sant'Andrea di Rosso. See, they have a history which don't mean anything.
Right.
But they make a big
But
deal.
it's fun to know.
I didn't read my mother's case. We always read most of the family's case.
Yeah.
Now, some of the things I want to show you. If you think you have a chance later on, because I'd like to show you maybe a couple of pictures.
Yeah. I'd like to ask you this picture you have over here too, who the people are on the wall.
That's the Giannini side.
Oh, is that who that is?
Well, you can see why my father married my mother. Can you see it? Oh.
Yeah, I can see real good through here. Yeah, okay.
See? Okay. This is my grandfather, one that built the church there. This is his mother. Here's my mother, which just about this time, she was married, my father married and took her to Italy. Now, as one sister, we had a priest in the family. Excuse me. That thing. Excuse me, here. And she, when she grew up, she married a guy. And later on, with the help of my father, when he was there, see, the idea was always to help your family, your relatives. And my father came from America, he had money, so he helped her. He helped the lawyer when he was a young lawyer. So he had money to buy a home. She had money to start a business, a little grocery store. And then they put a bar in there. Later on, well, I say later on to make it fast, they opened up outside theaters. They had up to a dozen theaters, different towns, see? And they made money, they became very rich. And once you get a start, see, you get somebody who will give you money to get started and all alone.
And then you're
days,
set.
They never used to go to the bank for a loan. Some relative always give you money.
So once you have the money, then you're set to go.
Yeah.
And then you got other ones there.
See, I show you briefly what I got here. This is when I was in California for basic training. Okay, see here, you see me in the middle. Look how big I was. It's just about the big. We were training to go to Japan, to invade Japan.
Which one is you? I can't make it.
In the middle, somewhere here. There's a big belly. I was standing out.
This one.
This one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
just about we were finished with basic training, they dropped the atomic bomb. So they tried to, they went through all our, what do you call it, our experience. And what what qualification we had. So they found out, most everybody, I think we were 35 people from Los Angeles. We were put on a train to Washington, and then we were sent here, Baltimore. And we were taking, this other group, we were getting FBI training. We studied a little bit of photography, investigation, shooting subgun, machine gun, what do you used to call the machine gun, I forget. And this is the class. See, I'm in the class here. And the instructor, there was two classes. I sat with both of them, I think. Or maybe I was sitting with the advanced class. And this guy here, they had some phrases here. But whenever it was a little longer phrase, say, hey, how you say it? They asked me. So these guys had 4 years service. They were overseas. I only had 6 months or so. I said, you know what? You're going to be the next instructor. I thought I would just say that. Then I saw my name on the bulletin board. I was to teach Italian. I said, oh, the other people are going to Italy. I'm going to stay here.
Which one is you?
I'm here. See, so here we go. These building here, that's where we used to have classes, like you see there. We had photography, investigation, report writing, and what else? Well, that was about it. This is the service. Now, some of the pictures I got here. There's when I finally made it to Italy. I had my own Jeep. Here's my Jeep. It was Miss Dot. Here's this guy here was a secret Italian police. He was my right-hand man. He taught me a lot. You know, the guy, he was a professional. I was a See, after we picked them up, Italian agents, they picked the story here, say, in the lion's cage, they found him there, they arrested him. So when they arrested him, he was arrested because we had a search for him, see? So when they got him, they called us, we got your prisoner. So, like I say, when I was out of the office, they were ready to go when I heard about it. I didn't know what they were going there. When I heard they were saying to go to, see, Bologna is famous. My sister got a degree in piano from the University of Bologna. Bologna is famous for the university, one of the oldest universities. And it's good for cooking. You talk about Italian cooking, Bologna is #1. Florence and Bologna are the best place where you can get a good meal. Well, known for a good meal, let's put it that way. And so I went there when finally I had to be in charge because the guy he was messing up things. We used to pay with cigarettes, a case of cigarettes to the police, see, for the work they done. So we arrived there, we brought the cigarette in the police station. Well, I don't know exactly. I was more interested in talking to the prisoner. So they brought it to us in the room. We had him in one corner, and the Italian agent, he was my teacher, but I was in charge. And you used to tell him, you got to interrogate the guy. I said, well, you can't interrogate. He didn't know English, he didn't know German. So I said, how are we going to interrogate? I said, French, I know French, but nothing. I said, we try in Italian. So we got to interrogate the guy in Italian. Whatever we asked him, we couldn't get an answer. And he was there, I was there, in order to assault you, the other guy can defend you. You know, he had no arms, we had a gun, in case the guy would, try to assault us. And we used to tell you stood there, we have no problem. We just want to know some of the questions. No, we asked you. Right. And for one time he felt like I'm run away. I said, don't try. Because, chance are we going to shoot you?
Yeah.
You know, if you try to run away. And he tried to run away from the Jeep. And again, I said, don't try it. We're nice. We talk. We're not going to harm you or anything. He said, if you come along with us, we have no problem. Well, so we're three of us. The chance are we going to beat the hell out of you. Then they calmed down. When in Florence at nighttime, we went to the MP station and said, we have a prisoner. We want to leave him here overnight. And I told the sergeant at the desk in charge of I said, make sure you keep an eye on this guy because he escaped twice. And he was there. He said, no, I escaped 3 times. So I said, you hear what the guy said? I said, well, tomorrow morning when we come here, he's got to be here. And don't make sure that you have a night guard watching this guy all night. We don't want him to escape. So next day from Florence, we went to Leghorn. Now Leghorn, they had 2 agents from Rome came to pick him up. Those 2 agents, we went to school together. You saw that picture?
Yeah.
Here, when we were going to school, we were 60, we went to Italy. So those 2 guys came to Florence to pick him up. There was one, I don't remember who they were, but one of these, we used to know you. So no, we went to school together. So they say, oh, no, after you leave, okay, good luck to you. No? Later on, I saw those 2 agents. I said, what happened to our, we used to call him our baby, that we, our prisoner. I said, you know what? He's working for the American. Now here's the article. I didn't believe it. You see what he says?
Yeah.
I found that article, the thing I found in the paper, I don't know, 10 years, when they finally let him go. He was 83 years old. My age. No, I mean, like I say, I was lucky.
Yeah.
To me, I like everything I did. The same thing at work. See, I worked there. I worked 27 years for that company. I love my job. I started out as a by the way, what kind of work you do? What do we do?
On like computers.
Well, you know, I work in a company. We were designing power plants. First, they were all fossil or oil. Then they start to design a nuclear plant. I was lucky. You gotta be lucky. I was never put in a nuclear designing for a nuclear plant. I was always with coal and oil, or whatever, air conditioning. I worked for Chicago University. I revamped one of the systems there, mostly called dust elimination. My last job was a job in Oklahoma City. I never been there. I worked from drawings. What they had wasn't working good. So I went over with the engineer in charge. He gave me the job. Now we worked together. And finally, I showed what had to be done. They did all the changes. The last thing I heard, they said, Charlie, your job is working beautiful. That's the best thing you can hear. A lot of people say, what about money? I said, I never worry about money. They always take care of me. I never say, oh, you got to give me more money. I never say that. I never ask for money. You know, you do your job. The biggest satisfaction, I say, Charlie, your job is working beautiful. What more you want them to say? They say, what about money? I said, don't say that. I never asked them. I never asked my boss for money. I was satisfied. I mean, I got taken care of. It's a satisfaction I had. See, like here it tells you about the guy who dropped the bomb. If it wasn't for him, well, somebody else had to do it. If it wasn't for the bomb, you think I'd be alive today? Try to invade Japan? I don't know, the chances were 50-50. Like I say again, I had the luck on my side.
Well, you remember a lot of things, Charlie. Even way back, you know, some of the things that...
I remember things when I was a kid, because my brother was 3 years younger. I asked my brother, But you remember this? No, he doesn't remember. He remembered few things. Somehow I was able to remember, you know, in Italy, when I was going to school, you always had buddies. No, you go to school. We're three of us. I found a photograph. They sent me this, a postcard of the city of Lucca.
What was the name of the church you guys went to in Lucca?
I went to all of them.
Oh, really?
I had the parish where I belonged to San Marco, outside the wall. But then on Sunday, where you go? You go where there's
Did
more.
they baptize you guys in church there?
I was baptized in Washington.
In St. Joseph?
I don't know, Washington, Iowa.
In one of the, but you don't know which church?
That was the only Catholic church. There was only one.
Fine.
I got the picture somewhere.
What about the people like your parents and grandparents? Where do you think they were baptized?
Oh, they were baptized in Lamberry. My father was baptized in Lamberry. And
don't you think they have records of that? The church?
yeah, that's why I want to get in touch with
You're
them.
going to write the church
Yeah,
or the city?
no, the church.
Oh.
And if I get result, or else next I'm going to write the commune.
Yeah. Well,
There you are. Now, okay, and talk about this. We stayed, the villa was somewhere in this area. This is the bridge we used to travel, I used to travel every day to go to the office in Florence. Ponte Vecchio, the old bridge. This is, my buddies, were three of us, they signed it. See, 1935, I arrived here, they wrote it in July 26th. I arrived, that's when my mother said they sent the military induction paper. Look, the same team.
who wrote on the back here?
Those three buddies of mine, who were the three musketeers, as you used to call them.
And this is a picture of Lucca.
Yeah, is this it?
Oh, let me show the camera. See.
Okay.
Lemura.
See.
Lemura.
Lemura, yeah, Lemura. See, you could go, there's a car. Lately, they banned the traffic, car traffic, because they were afraid it would damage the structure or the walls. See, you see the walls here. These are all bricks. And the only thing you walk, there was a low sidewalk, see on the side. You can go with a bicycle, motorcycle maybe. But lately I was told they ban all the car traffic. Whenever, you hear about the Tour de France, the bicycle in France. Well, they have the Tour of Italy, Giro d'Italia, and once they made the end of what do you call them, from town to town. They call them top in Italy, I don't know the English word. Today you go from here to this town, then the next day from this town to another. Roughly about 200 miles or kilometers or whatever. And 1 year they had on this town, they don't always do the same way. But 1 year they had the final here, and they say it's a pretty nice place for the last stretch.
Oh, it looks nice.
And I used to go to school just about a little bit close over here.
School meaning what? Grade school or
High
military?
school. I got a lot of memory. This is that tower you see there.
What was the name of the school you went to?
Domenico Chiellini. I don't know who he was, but that's the name of the school. Sometimes they take the name of a previous professor or an important person in town. And I know what it is. One of the pictures. See, I put them on, rather than put a hole in the wall, I stick it. Oh, you want to see some of the things here? I got so many things that you could spend a week. I could show
Look
you.
at this thing of Lucca you got there.
Yeah, my sister got a lot more than I had. See, the picture fell back.
Your sister's coming to dinner tonight,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She won't get in much. I think he died when I was 8 or 10 years old. So I don't remember too. I knew he was bald. He was completely bald. See, and he wasn't too talkative with my father. There was a big difference in age. When he died, my father was trying to tell, like the picture I gave, what to do. No, you gotta cultivate land. No, you gotta be after. No, and everybody was pulling on their way. They became, I don't say they became bums, but there was no
Cohesion.
cohesion. We gotta do this. One guy go and say, you go, I don't feel like going. See, you don't work that way, I know the oldest one was in the military service in what they call the Carabinieri,
Which one was that?
Salvatore. And he got pneumonia, and then I don't think you sign up like for 2 years.
Yeah.
And he didn't finish the time because he was sick. And so that was an excuse that he wouldn't go in the fields to work. The other guy, because you don't go, I don't go either. See, and how can you say? And my father was trying to tell me, you got to do, you got to cultivate the land, you got to. And they tell this, and my father, you go take a job, My father was trying to, his brother, like I say, I didn't know there was that. I know that he was much older.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was, 18 years?
Yeah.
I didn't
16.
know. 16.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was that much difference. And that you wonder why there were only 3, see?
Yeah.
And between the two, this is because they were coming to America. See, that's probably.
Maybe.
See, nobody would tell me these things.
I hope you can get records from the church there, because that's something I couldn't do. But if anybody died in America, I can get records of their death. And if they were living in America, I can get records of that.
Well, this, I don't know if I have it here.
But I can't, in Italy, if I can get city records from Capanori.
See,
You better write it in.
this is something else.
No, yeah.
This is a toast when I was 80 years old. No, this is when I celebrate my 80th company. But I have it here. I started to write it, and then every so often I take a little time and I'm making correction. But this is on my list, one thing I have to do. Now, next week I'm going to the doctor. I carry a bag. And that was my big operation.
Yeah.
I had cancer. They took my prostate, appendix, and what do you call the bag?
Bladder.
The bladder. So I'm carrying a bag.
Yeah.
And I never feel like I have a need to go to washroom. I feel it. When I feel the bag is full, then every couple hours I empty.
Yeah.
So far it's working good, but I don't have the resistance.
Yeah.
I get tired easy.
Well, you do what you can with what you can.
Well, that's what I have to do. A lot of people, aren't you glad you're alive? Well, I can say, I wanted to die.
Yeah.
I didn't want to live. I said, with that, let me die. I don't want to live.
But didn't you carry on and you're okay?
I lost my driver's license. I'm driving again. See? I take my time. I can't do things I used to do. That's why I don't accomplish too much like I would, because after I work a little bit, I have to take a break. Well, anyway, I don't want to keep you. You got people. I'm going to close shop, and I'll see you downstairs.
Okay. Well, yeah, we heard that you were doing